Thank you, DOJ employees, for continuously stoking the embers of service inside all of you. Keep it burning. I am referring to the burning passion to serve inside all of you. That glowing passion that continuously excites us, enlighten us, keep us inspired to do things we ought to do, above and beyond the call of duty. I stand before you, humbled by your trust in me and in our administration, for the belief that despite of our diversity in thoughts and ideals, we are as one Filipino. It gives me more joy to know that we are able to work together, united as a department in the spirit of dignity and respect. I believe that together we shall emerge stronger and rise above all the challenges we may encounter. I know that most of you have worked hard and have sacrificed so much. It is for this reason that I apologize to all if in the midst of celebration I will have to ask you to sacrifice some more. 3 months ago, when the President, Rodrigo Roa Duterte, handed me the reins of our department, he made it very clear that the DOJ, its people, and its agencies will be in the trenches as the administration wages war against three-headed beast, drugs, corruption, and criminality. When President Duterte assumed office, and even before the presidential campaign, he made it very clear that only by eradicating these scourges can we truly achieve our common dream of peaceful and a more progressive future for our families. The elimination of these three is the primary marching order of the President to me, and when he handed me the stewardship of the DOJ. And now, that is our marching order as well. Our President has guaranteed that this war will be relentlessly fought towards its culmination and total victory. The good news is that apparently we are winning the battle, at least in the fight against illegal drugs. As I was telling a reporter several weeks ago, personally I believe that President Duterte's anti-drug campaign is a success. To begin with, 700,000 drug users and drug pushers have surrendered under the aegis of Oplan Tokhang. Drug pushers are being caught. The crime rate, as per report of the Philippine National Police, has considerably gone down. In the House of Representatives, the hearing on the proliferation of drugs at the New Bilibid prison, the PDEA reported last Wednesday that from 1,600 pesos per gram, the present cost of a gram of shabu is now 26,000 pesos. And that says a lot on how our combined efforts have greatly affected the supply of shabu in our country. As a result, the protectors are no longer protecting, and the cuddlers are no longer cuddling. Most importantly, the people feel safer. Near to home, I am proud to announce that about 3 weeks, our prosecutors from Region 3 have successfully prosecuted Albert Chin, Romeo Manalo, and their cohorts who are involved in one of the largest drug busts in the history of the drug trade in the Philippines. It involved more than 430 kilograms of shabu confiscated from a house in Subic, Zambales. The haul was so big, it was contained in 22 large gym bags and balikbayan boxes, and it took 18 hours to finish hauling the shabu from the house to the police station. All the accused in this case were convicted and were all meted life imprisonment and a fine of 1 million pesos. The valiant efforts of our prosecutors in that case validated the acts of our apprehending officers from the Philippine National Police, who apprehended the accused. But beyond that, our prosecutors, together with the judge, are very instrumental in restoring the people's trust and confidence in our judicial system. That conviction is a major victory in the present war on drugs. It sends a chilling effect to all involved in the drug trade in the country. I believe that we have sent a very strong warning and message to all who are involved in drugs. Deal with drugs and you will find neither refuge nor respite. from the law. The bad news, if you can call it that, is I believe that we can do more towards prosecuting more drugs cases, seeing to it that the accused will get their full measure of our laws. Ba natin ito? Maaasahan ba namin kayo? Can we do more? Can we get more from you? The DOJ will play a very important role in the President's efforts toward a crime-free Philippines. Every valid apprehension deserves a conviction, and every well-deserved conviction is a move towards the restoration of our Filipino people's faith in our justice system. For justice to work, we have to work. For our people to believe in our system of justice, we have to see to it that they can believe in our prosecutors and the integrity of their resolutions. Trust is always earned, it is never demanded. With great power comes great responsibilities. Let us exercise that power responsibly and with integrity. Invariably, we cannot prosecute if we ourselves are tainted by the very drugs we seek to eradicate. It is for this reason that I seek the full cooperation of everyone in our random drug testing program. The program will eventually cover all our prosecutors and down the line, everyone in the DOJ. This is part of our efforts to support the President's war on drugs. We cannot clean the houses of our countrymen if our own house is not clean and not in order. Only by clean hands and souls can we rightfully prosecute others. The good book provides the inspiration for this. In the proverb states, whoever says to the guilty, you are innocent, will be cursed by peoples and denounced by nations. But it will go well with those who convict the guilty. The rich blessings will come on them. Drugs and all the activities related to are the precursor of criminality and corruption. Drug addiction fuels the desire to commit crimes so that an urge can be satiated. With varying dependence on drugs comes varying degrees of heinous crimes. Evidently, the innocents bear the brunt of their despicable acts. And this administration will no longer tolerate criminals. It is our time to turn the tables and let them have a dose of their own medicine. If they harm the people, we should make sure that they will receive what they deserve under our laws. On end corruption, criminal elements will never stop and will continue to sow the seeds of their destructive deeds for as long as there are corrupt elements in our prosecution service who sell resolutions and now prosecute themselves on the altar of greed and avarice. Criminals will thrive for as long as they find sanctuary instead of punishment among our prosecutors and our judges. The real change desired by the majority will never happen if the corrupt exists among the minority. They are like the wounds that fester and turn the good parts of our prosecution service into gangrenous wounds. I believe that there is only one way to deal with gangrene. You cut it off. You cut it off so that it will not affect the rest of the body. If there is anyone among you who still follow the misguided path that leads to eternal perdition, please stop it. Please stop it. If despite this warning you will continue with your corrupt ways, then we'll go after you. The full resources of the DOJ will be upon you, and you will not like it. 3 months ago, when I assumed the stewardships of the department, I offered to all the hand of friendship. I told you not to walk behind me or in front of me. I said, walk beside me and let us take care of the DOJ until the end of my days here. Today, I offer the hands of friendship again. Walk with me, work with me as your secretary. There is only one DOJ. Let us love it. We are going to exact earnest efforts to address all the concerns. We will listen to you. It is my fondest wish that I can leave the DOJ and all of you in a better place than we found it when I assumed office last June 30, 2016. And now for the awaited good news that comes with every anniversary speech. Foremost among them will be the realization of the Department of Justice Academy that will provide a venue for training and the enhancement of the competence of our prosecutors and of the components of the other agencies, units under the DOJ. It is really my hope and my fervent wish that this DOJ Academy will be established and be up and running during my stint at the DOJ. We'll be also looking for the possibility of eventually having our own prosecutor-centered mandatory continuing legal education, or MCLE. I am also happy to announce that for 2016, we'll be giving a cultural allowance of 1,500 each in time for our DOJ anniversary. The amount of 1,500 will be credited to your respective ATMs effective September 26, so that you may purchase uniform or costume on the occasion of anniversary. The amount may be small, but it's just a start. Hopefully, in our coming anniversaries, we can increase this amount. On the release of much-awaited performance-based bonus, here's the good news on it. We have closely coordinated with the DBM and the Interagency Task Force under AO25 to follow up the approval and release of the long-awaited bonus of the employees and officials for fiscal year 2015. It may be recalled that during the flag-raising ceremony last week, it was announced that we are awaiting the decision of the task force regarding the DOJ's request for reconsideration. We have been declared eligible for the grant of the PBB. And the revised final validation report is already for signature of the chairman of the task force. You have my assurance that we will closely monitor this request, that the PBB be released the soonest possible time. We have secured the release of 3 million pesos for the purchase of needed tables and chairs for our newly appointed prosecutors. We will have our bidding for this in January 2017 and receive delivery by February 2017 and roll out to you 1 month later. To the diligent ones and the early birds among you, as far as the MCLE is concerned, the MCLE fee for this year and the maximum amount of 5,500 will be reimbursed. We are looking at holding our own free MCLE for our prosecutors by year-end or early next year. Currently, we are conducting a comprehensive review and appraisal of all our systems, processes, and procedures to streamline our service, simplify our operations, and thereby cut on costs and ensure proper utilization of our resources, either financial, manpower, or managerial talent and capability. I encourage everyone to do cost-saving measures and utilities. While we cannot give an exact figure right now, the CNA incentive that everyone will receive this year is for sure bigger than the amount that you receive in recent years. For those involved in anti-human trafficking initiatives of the DOJ, by next week, our people in the U.S. Department of State will be negotiating the terms and conditions of a US $3 million grant assistance to further solidify our anti-human trafficking efforts, particularly in the area of child cyber prostitution. We have attained Tier 1 ranking, the highest ranking that a country can attain in the Global Index Against Trafficking in Persons. We are first in Southeast Asia, so much so that the Malaysian prosecutors wanted to learn what they can from us because they are in Tier 2 and are in danger of going down to Tier 3. We are now in Tier 1. We intend to stay in Tier 1 for a long time. We are also glad to announce that we are further exploring the offer of GoJust project under the auspices of the European Union to fund the hiring of law students and law graduates to assist prosecutors nationwide in the drafting and needed research in the speedy disposition of resolutions. This is very much like the drafters hired for the courts via the fund grant from a foreign donor agency. Hopefully, we can firm up this project and by next year, pilot test it in selected offices. By next year or earlier, God willing, we hope to amend our prosecution manual soon and conduct training on it once copies are published and distributed. For next year, you can expect more opportunities for capability enhancement via additional training for the prosecutors and support staff because of increased funding. In addition, we will democratize training opportunities to make it more inclusive for all. Also for next year, a milestone bonus is in the offing as we celebrate our DOJ 120th founding anniversary. Kaya pag may balak tayong umalis sa DOJ, huwag na kayong umalis. Magandang balita ito para sa milestone bonus. We have also secured funding for nationwide internet connectivity. You have my word that while we are at war, while we may go to war, we will not go to war unprepared and ill-equipped. We just ask for our patience as we put our house in order. In closing, allow me to say that I stand with our President to be on the right side. Despite the difficulty and despite the risk, I will stand by the side of justice. So as he has waged war against these ills of society, I too shall wage the same war. As what our President mentioned in his inaugural speech, the fight will be relentless and it will be sustained. The very same will be the mantra of the Department of Justice until the very last day of my stewardship. Happy birthday, DOJ. Happy birthday to all. Mabuhay kayong lahat. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you so much, Justice Secretary. Palapakan po ulit natin si Secretary sa napakarami pong packages na bibigay po ni Secretary sa atin. And we heard you, Secretary, loud and clear. Sasamahan po namin kayo sa inyong pong kampanya at sa kampanya po ng Department. Palakpakan po ulit natin si Secretary.
So before we proceed,
JB Sebastian, kung gusto niyang umattend doon without any immunity, nasa kanya yun. But he must be made aware of that. And of course, since it will affect him, dapat meron siyang lawyer.
Sure ba tayo subpoena? Because during the hearings, from what we heard, parang they were willing to subpoena. In fact, there were, I think, motions to subpoena him. Pero bakit hindi na natuloy?
Sabi nila, hindi na kailangan ng subpoena kasi when a person is an inmate, yung mga, there are some political rights na suspended. So, hindi mo na kailangan subpoena ang isang under the under detention by the NBP.
Sir, ano bang current status ng like si JB? Ano bang sinasabi niya ngayon? And are you still trying to talk to him in the sense that you believe that his statements will strengthen your case against the former Justice Secretary?
Actually, hindi naman, I'm not attempting to talk to him. Katulad ng mga ibang witnesses, sinabi ko sa inyo na hindi kung mga witnesses yan eh. They have their own lawyers. They just, yung mga wives nila, relatives and lawyers, visited me here at the DOJ and told me na gusto nilang makiisa na sa war against drugs ni Pangulong Duterte. Pero hindi ako ang kumuha ng mga affidavits nila. As a matter of fact, napag-atasan lang ako, napag-utusan lang ako ng Committee on Justice na ako mag-conduct ng direct examination during the first day of the hearing. Hindi po ako may kagustuhan nun. The task was given to me the night before, gabi na mga alas 7 o alas 8 na. Tinawagan ako ng committee secretary at sabi sa akin nun, Atty. Aguirre, parang hindi nila gusto na kasi si Congressman Harry Roque dapat ang gumawa noon Pero baka daw sila magbansagan ng bias. So, since ikaw magdadala ng mga testigo, you might as well conduct the direct examination. So, September 19 yun Kaya't nagulat nga ako, ang dami-dami ng mga testigo, pag-aaralan ko pa. So, ang ginawa ko, dinala ko yung copy ng affidavit. Gumising ako ng mga 3 o'clock sa madaling araw, although puwet na kami ng mga karamang araw. Pinag-aralan ko on how to question the witnesses. Pero, natutulang to set the record straight. Hindi ako may kagustuhan noon. Pero kung ako man may kagustuhan nun o kung sino, dapat pang magpasalamat ang ating mamamayan. Sa pag ganun ang proceedings, mas malinaw na nakikita ng tao kung ang isang witness ay nagsisinungaling o hindi, kung isang witness ay kalmado o tense, kung isang witness ay straightforward magsalita or not, mas maganda yung ganong pagtatanong. Yun nga ang ina-adapt sa court, kaya lang mahaba. But hindi naman unprecedented yon sa ating Congress. Ginawa na yun yung nakaraan sa Senado, but this was unprecedented sa House of Representatives. Pero halos katulad din ito nung ginawa ni Secretary De Lima. Hindi ba siya nag-question and answer kay Matubato? Pareho lang So,
Sir, clarify lang dun sa article na lumabas today sa Philippine Star. Parang you were quoted as saying na si JB will appear if ever dun sa Congress and that ang iti-testify niya raw is yung food supplies na issue, hindi yung drugs.
may yun na nakarating sa akin na gusto ni JB na i-limit ang kanyang testimony sa anomalya sa pagkain, where about 10 million a month is being distributed to the high officials of the government.
Sir, considering that parang magkaiba yung nature ng quote-unquote testimonies ni JB nung first batch, because as you said, yung iba voluntary and then next with affidavit, ito kasi sir, parang he's uncooperative so far doon sa drug angle, di ba sir? So is there any compelling reason still to present him or parang we can do away with him na? Just the way it is right
Sa
now.
akin, kung ang katanungan kasi dyan sa investigation na yan why did drugs, illegal drugs proliferate at the New Bilibid prison? Palagi ko wala nang wala nang question Kasi walang question dyan dun sa trading ng illegal drugs sa loob ng NBP, dun sa mga kaluwagan na binibigay kung ikaw ay nagdi-deal sa drugs, dun sa mga kubol na yan. So, there's no questions. I don't know what's the reason pa kung dapat kailangang isubpina pa or paapirin pa si JB Sebastian.
Pwedeng hindi na sir, no?
Sa akin lang pwedeng na kasi very clear na yung mga testimonies ng mga other inmates
Sir, pero sabi nyo kanina hindi pa kayo nagtatry mag-approach kay JB, sir. So, sir, sino yung nagsabi sa inyo na gusto sana niya magsalita pero limited lang dun sa food?
Mayroong mga tao na on their own initiative ay gusto nilang makatulong talaga na talagang palitawin yung totoo at saka yung participation ni Secretary De Lima doon sa drug trade sa NDP. So sila mismo ang gumagawa ng paraan para makausap si JB Sebastian at ganun daw nga ang nakarating sa akin.
So ano sir ang naging next na ano nyo doon? Nalaman nyo na yun lang yung gusto mong sabihin?
Tinanong nila ako, ano, secretary, ano bang gagawin natin dito? Sabi ko hindi. I rejected it. Sabi ko, pag hindi rin lang buong katotohanan sasabihin niya, I reject it.
Sir, may update na po ba kaya Ronnie, Diane, and yung kay Junior? Anong status na nila? Nakita ba sila?
Wala, hindi namin malaman kung nasan si Ron Dayan. Apparently, nagtatago siya. Pero siya ang gustong paapirin din sa House Committee.
So, si Junel?
No, sino?
Junel?
Junel is with the sa Presidential Security Group. Baka ma-appear siya.
May affidavit na po siya, sir, to your
So far,
knowledge.
to my knowledge, wala pa. But hopefully, mag-execute siya ng affidavit.
Pero sir, nagsabi na siya na interesado siyang humarap at mag-execute if ever na atin. May ganun ba siyang parang...
Dun sa pakipag-usap ko sa kanya, parang inclined siyang kumuha ng affidavit.
So, nakausap mo na po siya in person, sir?
Yes.
Sir, ano status niya sa
3 days ago.
Ano status niya ngayon?
Wala naman, nandun lang siya. But because his name cropped up, parang as a matter of course, inimbestigahan din siya ng unit niya.
May subpoena na for him, sir?
Wala pa.
Wala pa.
Kasi ang next hearing would be on October 5. So siguro we'll recommend the persons to be subpoenaed bago ako umalis kasama ni Presidente papuntang Vietnam.
Sir, nakwento nila sa'yo kung ano yung nalalaman niya tungkol sa dati incident.
Si Jonel,
At may pwede ka bang sabihin sa amin, sir?
mayroon pa kaming inaalam tungkol dun sa knowledge ni Jonel sa drug trade. Kaya siguro premature pa ngayon. But naikwento niya sa akin yung nalalaman niya.
Meaning to say, in the nature of what, sir, yung nalalaman na yun, sir? It's something that will incriminate.
Yung sinabi niya sa akin na sinabi niya sa akin na talagang ang nakita niya ay yung talagang closeness ni Secretary de Lima at ni Ronnie Dayan, kung saan daw sila pumupunta, sa Bicol, sa Pangasinan, sa Mindanao, sa mga hotel. Ayun, sinabi niya sa akin na isa lang ang kanilang tinutulugan paggabi.
Sir, yung nabanggit na bagman siya, did he deny sa inyo? Di ba sabi sa hearing bagman si Jonel, nagpipick up din siya ng pera for Secretary. So, did he...
Hindi pa siya makapag-decide doon sa angle na yun.
So, si JB Sebastian daw po, a day before the congressional hearing, umamin na daw po. But it's another thing to this decision.
Yeah, tama yun. That's correct. Kaya sabi nga nung nagsabi na ayaw niyang umamin pagdating dun sa illegal drug trade. Ang gusto lang niya ay tungkol dun sa illegal anomalies, corruption doon sa monthly 10 million anomaly per month tungkol sa food supply.
So, considering parang yung role niya dun sa alleged na pagkukota dun sa, di ba, iniutos na pagbebenta is so major, parang the possibility na mabigyan siya ng immunity is parang remote compared to the other resource persons already presented, sir?
Pakiulit.
Considering, sir, yung role niya doon, di ba, siya talaga yung nagmamando doon sa pagbebenta, doon sa pagbibigay ng quota, doon sa pagbebenta ng shabu. That is a very major role. So, parang the possibility of his immunity is remote as compared to the other resource persons.
Ang possibility na siya ay umamin, baka yun ang medyo malabo. But with respect to immunity, nasa kanya yun eh. Kasi kung aamin siya and then will seek immunity, if he's ready to execute an affidavit para mapaloob natin sa witness protection program, then nasa kanya lang yun. Pag ginawa niya yun, we will consider it.
So, you're not closing your door to that, sir?
No, definitely not.
Sir, in terms of building your case against the sir, what cases of evidence are you still trying to gather?
yung tungkol sa mga testimonial evidence, sobra-sobra na eh. So, ang kinakailangan ko ay yung to build up the documentary evidence against her. At yan, ay alam na ninyo kung ano yan, yung mga chiefly, yung mga bank records where this money, illegal drugs, money on legal drugs were stashed.
Sir, were you able to locate where former Bicol Director Bugatti is? Kasi apparently, mukhang siya raw po yung magko-connect dun sa a person higher than Senator Bicol.
Hindi ko pa na ko-contact si Major ba? General Bukayo. General
Wala
Bukayo.
ring sealers pa, sir.
Nakausap ko na siya. He is one of my resource persons bago ko umpisa ng pag-investigate sa Bucor eh. Wala naman yan sinabi sa akin at that time except for the fact na napilitan siyang mag-resign from Bucor because of the threats on his life.
So, walang feelers, sir?
Mayroon.
May feeler siya sa'yo, sir? Ngayon, for this probe?
Yes.
Sir, yung request kay GA Celestial, so apparently, hindi kayo inaamin illegal drug trade. But yung other alleged notice inside the NPT, and among them you mentioned earlier tungkol sa pagkain. You mentioned, sir, 10 million a month. Kanina sir nakita niya?
And hindi ko na nga pinursu yun eh kasi ayaw ko nung hindi whole truth eh. So, nireject ko na yun outright.
So you're not looking into that? You're not looking into possible anomalies dun sa mga Filipino food or kung ano man yun?
For now.
Well, we are looking into that, but we want it to come from the mouth of a credible witness.
So I'm not sure if you've reacted to this. Yung sinabi ni Senator De Lima last Friday daw na parang lumalabas ang katulong na ngayon ng gobyerno sa fight against drugs ay yung mga mismong drug lords na rin. Yung reaction.
Paano magiging katulong yun? Yun ang, gusto nga yung mga witnesses kong ipresenta, yun nga ang gustong matigil na yung drugs na yun eh. Alam mo si Senator De Lima, nawawala na. Hindi na maganda yung kanyang mga katuwiran eh. Hindi na niya iniisip, basta siguro because of the so many, he was wafted by kung ano-anong mga napakaraming mga akusasyon. Kaya siguro talagang gulong-gulo na yung isip niya eh. Hindi na tama yung mga justification niya. Napakahina ng kanyang mga katuwiran.
Sir, yung possibility na like for example, in the case of Diane, because key figure siya dito sa entire controversy, yung possibility na mag-recommend kayo na ipa-arresto na siya ng committee is there? Because di ba meron namang powers na ganun, sir?
It's the committee's call eh. The moment that you issue a subpoena, pag invitation lang, walang kwan dyan, no? Walang warrant of arrest. But the moment he is issued a subpoena to appear and he ignored it, then the committee could order his arrest.
Sir,
So,
clarification lang po dun sa mga bank accounts, yung sa anak ni Diane, sa yung the other batman, can you give us the exact amount nasa bank accounts?
I think hindi pa pwede ngayon eh. Bawal nga eh. Confidential pa yun.
Sir, paano magiging strategy po kayo change this question? Hanggang no longer hindi na siya circulated or i-encourage to testify for Congress?
Sa akin, he is no longer needed insofar as yung congressional investigation is concerned.
And he can expect to be one of the respondents
Precisely.
in the event that you file the
Precisely. Pag ayaw niya makapag-cooperate, then he could be sure that he would be one of the respondents.
So, sir, as far as the DOJ is concerned right now, can you give us, like for profiling purposes lang, sir, ano ba talaga, sir, yung parang pinaka-role na nga nitong GP na to sa drug trade inside NPT? And gaano ba siya ka-powerful, sir, na siya mismo sa loob?
Clear naman yun eh. Daming nag-testify sila doon na talagang yung words ni JB eh talagang batas na dapat mong sundin. So, dun sa role niya, clear din naman na para suportahan ang election campaign ni Secretary de Lima, ni-require niya ang lahat ng mga bosyo, yung mga leaders ng mga sa loob ng Bilibid na magbenta from 5 kilos to 30 kilos a month. So, yun ang walang very clear yun eh.
Is he the most power? Siya ba yung parang pinaka, kasi may mga iba-ibang gang leaders yan, diba sir? Is he the most powerful there?
He is the most powerful. Kinatatakutan siya. His words are the law. Kasi nga, because of perceived, hindi lang perceived, because of his closeness to Secretary de Lima. Malakas. Alam naman natin pag sinabing malakas ka diyan kay de Lima. So yun. Ganun. Alam naman natin na kahit outside, pag sinabi kang malakas yan kay Secretary, ganun, malakas yan kay Presidente. So alam natin kung bakit ganun sinasabihan. Malakas. Kaya nare-reflect or nagra-radiate yung power ng tao na parang handler niya dun sa kanya.
Secretary, meron po bang pinili tayo ultimatum sa NBI para tapusin yung investigasyon?
Hindi ultimatum. As a matter of fact, ngayon ko pa lang ibibigay itong case na ito. Masyadong maraming lead na dapat i-pursue. Talagang dapat ito yung magagaling ng mga investigador. Yung nangyari itong manakaraan, yun ay produkto ng katulad kong amateur sleuth. Sa sleuthing ko lang yan pero hindi ko na kaya. Pero alam ko kung saan pupunta, alam ko ang gagawin ko. Kaya lang, we have no people here in the Department of Justice na makakagawa nun. Dapat talagang yung mga veteran investigators, mga galing.
Sir, going a few weeks back, when you in a press con confirmed yung existence ng mga deposit slips, sir, amounting to millions, and you said that those have yet to undergo validation, evaluation. May update na po doon, sir, kung merong mga authentic doon? Na
Meron na. Nakuha ko na yun talagang totoo. And we'll be asking the AMLAC.
Sir, are we seeing the possibility?
doon sa mga ano na yun?
Yung sa,
deposit
itong
slips?
second wave of my inquiry sa AMLAC.
Yeah, but
First lang yung una eh. But of course, yung sinama na rin namin yung sinasabi ko noon na parang sinusubukan kami ng mga fake.
So meron doon sa fake na yun, merong turned out to be authentic, sir? And then the amounts?
Meron. Although yung iba ay isang number lang o dalawang numbers lang ang binabago.
What about the amounts, sir, na naka
Iba ang
indicated?
amounts.
So we're seeing the possibility na before the year end, there will be proper charges filed against some of the people.
Hopefully, before the year ends, pwede. Kung depende sa bilis ng investigation to be made by the NBI. Actually, it's either today or tomorrow ko lang may bibigay sa NBI yung
relevant din siya, sir, yung mga
malaman natin yan pag yung complete picture ay nakuha na natin.
Sir, yung sa bank account po, sabi niyo ba na po siya dun sa ibang corporation, sir? Sinasabi niyo po ba na mainly the drug money ay na-invest dito sa Filipino or both corporations na baka kaibigan ng mga drug money?
Hindi na-invest. Ginagawan lang na-deposit. Ginagawan lang yun.
Pinadeposit po dun sa corporation.
Corporate account na yun or individual person's account.
It's a corporate account, sir. Corporate account.
Merong corporate, merong individuals. Nakuha ko na.
drug money, sir, allegedly drug money, sir? Or from yung mga transactions?
Doon pinadideposit ni
JB.
JB.
Corporate account.
But sir, connected na yan kay Lady, yung mga account
Iko-connect pa lang natin. Wala pa. Nakuha ko lang yung name and count number.
So yung Chinese, isa parang kita 300 Chinese drug lord na inmates sa loob ng NBI. Were we able to get in touch with them? Kasi mukhang si JB yata yung calculator na hawak.
Yun namang Chinese doon, hindi naman sila nasa isang lugar eh. Although ang parang sinasabi nun, maraming Chinese doon sa lugar ni JB Colanco. Di ba ganun ang kwan, di ba? Ganun ang parang testimony na. If I remember right,
Sir, so what can we expect in the next hearing, which will be in October na po, sir, on the part of the DOJ as to the number of witnesses? Nadagdagan po ba, sir, yung mga nakapila na sino-sino pa, and what will be the direction of the DOJ in the next hearing?
Yes, we will be presenting more resource persons, but not any more inmates.
So in terms of testimonies and documents gathered, how far are we to concluding that Senator De Lima is indeed linked to this drug
Well, later na lang yun, no? Kasi sabi ko nga, simple nga lang yun eh. Halimbawa, pag yung isang tao na alam na malapit kay Secretary De Lima, nakakitaan mo ng mga talagang malaking mga deposits, for example, hundreds of millions. So alam mo naman na hindi maaaring mag-earn ng 100 millions yung taong yun. So circumstantial yan unless merong direct deposit later on sa kay Secretary De Lima.
So sir, what are the charges that Senator De Lima might be facing in case that you file those cases?
Violation ng drugs law, first time mga Section 5, Section 28, and pwede rin ng revised penal code. Pwedeng pagsabayin yan eh.
So criminal and admin, sir, matatanggal ba siya bilang senador?
Usually kasi, pag nag-file ka sa sandigan o sa ombudsman, dalawa ka agad ang pinafile. One administrative, one criminal. So, mas mabilis yung administrative. Meron ka agadong ruling whether you will be removed from your position. So, pag ganun ang nangyari, then you will be removed from her being a senator.
In the case of Judge
Katulad nung, wag na tayong lumayo, dito sa hinahawakan namin before, kay General Nepeñas. Pinailan siya ng ombudsman ng criminal and administrative. Yung administrative tapos na. Pinatatanggal na sa trabaho.
Sir, pwede din ang sitting senator, sir, ma-unseat through administrative proceedings before the ombudsman.
I believe so.
Sir, clarify lang something you said yata earlier sa message mo, sir. Magkaka-random drug test ba, sir, for DOJ employee?
Matagal na namin kwan yun eh. Bago pa man yung mga random test ng ibang mga agencies, ibang departments, matagal na namin plinano yun eh. But because of the lack of undersecretary during that time, hindi na implement. Ngayon lang may USEC na ako, so i-implement na namin.
Sir, employees lang. Sino pa po? DOJ employees.
Prosecutors,
The attached agencies din po, sir.
dito lang muna.
Sir, going back to the resource persons, sir, anong mga resource persons po, sir, galing sa mga agencies
Well,
for the next hearing?
We will try to get
Aside from Janelle, sir? Aside from Janelle.
Sino ba, sir? Security, sino ba, sir, yung mga iharap?
Actually, ngayon lang namin i-finalize eh. Kasi si Director Geran came from abroad. Ngayon lang siya He will be joining us after lunch. Gagawin namin yung, i-recommend namin ho to subpoena. Kung meron ko yung alam na address ni Dayan, susubpoena natin siya.
Sir, pero nag-check ba sa immigration kung nandito pa siya?
Ah,
Sa immigration, nag-check kung nandito pa si Danny. May HDO pa sir?
walang, kasi wala namang kaso pa sa kanya eh. May mga taga-immigration dito, tingnan natin kung nakalis na sila.
Hindi na sir lagi sa lookout po.
Pwedeng lookout. Pwede yun.
Dayan lang sir, for other
No, yung other witnesses, si Ronnie Dayan, kung sino pa yung tatago. Pilitin ko rin mapir itong si Juan, si Jonathan Caranto. Yun yung nasa matrix ni President na nagsabi na 6 na beses siyang inutusan ni Secretary de Lima para mag-deposit ng 40, 20, 60,000 pesos sa account ni Dayan. Pero tinanggi niya yung mga fake na accounts na yun. Hindi raw pumapasok sa kanya.
Sir, yung mga security na ihaharap, may alam sa drug trade o dun lang sa relationship allegedly ni Sec. Lima at Dayan?
Both.
Sir, going back to Caranto, despite the fact, sir, na yung pag-execute niya ng affidavit, sinabi lang yung limitation ng naging mga deposits niya, bakit po magiging material 2%? Meron kayong ibang info na nakuha pa, sir, about Caranto?
Wala, yun lang. Material yun in the sense na that will establish the relationship between Dayan and De Lima.
Sir, yung kay Karate sir, part ba ng pinilisin niya ang last yung sa account niya kasi i-verify siya sa video, may existing yung account pero non-analyzed.
Yeah, no comment. Bawal.
So dito sa, nagkakaroon kasi ng guessing game dun sa high-level LP official, how close is that official to this drugs? Ano yung kinalaman nito?
Tanong mo si Secretary de Lima, siya ang nagsabi nun eh. Di ba? Hindi ko, wala naman nagbabanggit na pangalan ng high level LP official, siya nagbanggit nun. Kinakailangan niya kasi.
Wala kayong iniimbestiga na agad?
Well, hindi. Sa pag-imbestiga namin, maaaring pumunta doon. But definitely, sabi ko ganyan, very raw. I'm not mentioning any names. Siya ang nag-mention kasi gusto niya may kakampi siya. Gusto niya maging kampi si President Pinoy.
Sir, can we ask about your meeting with Marcelino?
Wala, yung courtesy call lang yun. Dinala lang ni Juan. Hindi ko alam yung Juan na yun eh. Dinala lang ni Attorney Persida.
Sir, ano na pag-usapan?
Wala. Sabi ko, I could not talk about your case because you have a pending case for the DOJ. As a matter of fact, ngayon ko lang nakita yun si Colonel Marcelino in person and I have nothing to do dun sa reversal ng kanyang resolution. Kasi hindi pa naman umaabot yan sa akin eh. Nagulat nga ako. For the first time, nakita ko yung reversal ng resolution niya doon lang sa dyaryo. After that, hindi naman umabot pa yan sa secretary. Doon pa lang yan, kay PG pa lang yan. So, wala akong nalalaman doon. I have not even read a single sentence doon sa resolution na yan.
Any other questions po? Okay, you have enough materials na siguro for today.
Thank you.
May meeting lang
Happy
po kami.
anniversary.
Ipapadala na lang po yung sa respective rooms daw po niyo yung konting lunch. Because we're going to use the venue for ano. Yes, we will email. Tapusin lang namin, may meeting lang kami.